This is an Off the Tongue podcast.
Hey, everybody, Doug.
Greg.
And this is Mike.
And we are the It's Funny That Makes It Okay podcast, part of the Off the Tongue podcast network. And who else might be on the Off the Tongue podcast network, you might ask? Well, you got the Greener Grass podcast. We got Teach a Dummy, Skate Ohio, the original Copycats, and Pint Pals podcast. So make sure to check all them out and give us a listen as well. Hey, everybody, thank you for tuning in to the show. We appreciate you tuning in and listening to, 45 minutes to an hour, hour and 10 minutes, who knows?
It'll only seem like 3 hours.
It'll only seem like 3 hours. Yes, but you should get an enjoyable 5 minutes out of this hour and 10-minute show.
Usually we can pick 5 minutes out of it. That's
not consecutive minutes.
No.
Like 30 seconds here, 45 here, a minute and a half there,
yes.
And all over the place.
We have very highly rated minutes.
We do. All right. Well, tonight
sprinkled
we
throughout the podcast.
Tonight, I think Greg and I have something right off the top. I've got a introvert versus extrovert, 5 scenarios, and you guys feel free to play along. I might even see if I can put these out there in our liner notes or something, so that if you wanted, you could read through them and maybe make your spouse do them with you as well. They love that.
We can do that.
Then we're going to talk weird food competitions. Not necessarily all eating, some not. And then we have a plethora of UFO stories. So take it away, Greg.
All right. Well, my gripe this week, it's kind of a repeat gripe.
What?
And it is not food related. Not restaurant, not food, not road rage, none of that.
Wow.
So
I thought you had eliminated all your gripes.
No. There's one more. Last week, I went to an REO Speedwagon concert. And there was an opening band called Levon.
Okay.
So what do you think my gripe's going to be about?
That when you got home, Lori hadn't made the bed and the sheets were in the washer.
That would be a legitimate gripe,
okay.
But that's not it.
Oh!
I think we had that one once last week, but that wasn't it. No. It's going to be keyboard related.
Oh, here we go. Buckle up, everybody.
So this band, they played some cover tunes. This is the opening band for REO Speedwagon. Band.
In air.
That's right. They played some cover tunes, and they played some songs.
Now,
of
let
their
me see.
own.
Levon, were they an Elton John cover band?
No, they weren't.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of what I thought, too.
Levon.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
No, they were kind of a rock, kind of maybe a little bit of a country rock edge to them, maybe. But they played all these cover tunes, and throughout listening to their whole, they played for probably close to an hour, and I kept hearing keyboards in all the songs, and of course there's no keyboard player, which immediately drives me up the wall because, we can't afford a keyboard player, but we're going to put keyboards and all that. There was organ. They did Lights by Journey, which has piano right at the beginning. And it's like, why can we not put a keyboard player? REO played. They've got a keyboard player.
Maybe none of them have it. None of them know how to play the keyboard.
He's fantastic. There's got to be keyboard players out there looking for a gig to travel.
Maybe they don't want to pay for a keyboard
Get
player.
rid of the bassist. I mean, why don't
Well, I'm sure he's
the
next.
keyboard can cover the bass.
He's probably next.
Track the bass. I don't care. Track it. Track the bass.
In fact, if most bands, they'd like to get rid of the keyboard and the drums, and it'll just be the lead
Well,
guitar.
they've already gotten rid of the
It'll just be the
keyboards.
lead guitar and the singer. That's it.
They've already gotten rid of the keyboards, and it agitates me. It's like, I don't know, you sit there and listen, and you hear this B3 organ playing. They're all standing around strumming on their guitars, and there's a B3 organ that's playing the lead, and it's like...
See, I would at least get, just one of your jackwagon buddies or something to come up with a broken keyboard. That's just have some cables laying on. Just have him standing, not with that, so that anybody from the crowd can see the keys, but just have him back there and he can just move.
Don't
his
even
hands
plug
around.
it in.
No.
But at least that would appease me that someone.
He just is playing. He's just air keyboard, except give him a real keyboard. Don't do the Journey.
Well, yeah,
weird
don't
keyboard from
separate ways
up on the dock there. But
yeah. I even tried to tell myself, well, Lori even said, well, what's the guy over there to the right? And I said, that's a sound guy. I tried to tell myself the sound guy.
I know what we're going to do. We're going to make these little overlays for your glasses that you can flip on, and it'll have a keyboard off to the side so that when you're watching it, you'll see a keyboard off to the right. Or left, whichever way you want to go.
That's all I want to see is some effort in that department.
Most people probably wouldn't even notice or
but
pay
you
any
hear
attention.
them. You hear them. Lori, you go, I don't really hear it. And I'm like, it's right there. It's obvious. So
you're super sensitive to it. Most people just go like, we're going to enjoy a nice night with our loved one. Now it's ruined.
Yeah.
It's ruined.
It ruins it for me. It really does.
Took me out of the mood.
Yep.
Home.
I couldn't like the band after that.
I wouldn't.
I'm not happy.
Nope.
REO, they had their keyboard player. Fantastic. Yeah. He's excellent. He may have been tracked as well and playing
but
a
at
fake
least
keyboard.
He was there,
but it
moving
looked
his
good.
arms and hands around.
He was. I think he was the ex-keyboard player from Rick Springfield's band.
Oh.
So, good guy.
Did he play Jesse's Girl?
He didn't, but anyway. So
muscle memory, just like get used to that.
Yeah.
In the middle of the song, just breaks out.
Sorry, my bad.
So, anyways, that's my gripe. Especially these songs that are heavy keyboard oriented or driven.
Axel F.
The guitar player's doing bam, 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 bam,
Rocket.
Yeah.
I am a crazy frog.
It's nothing. They just stand there for the entire song. All right, let's hear it for the tape.
Yeah.
I say tape. There's no tape.
There's no tape. It's all digital anymore.
Yeah. Let's hear it for the
I don't know
digital
why I let it
playlist.
bother me so much, but it does. It's just, it'd be like if there was no drummer and all I heard was drums. It'd be like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
I paid money to hear all the instruments.
Maybe they were off the stage.
Maybe they were back. It was an amphitheater outdoors, so maybe
They could have been behind you.
maybe.
Up there playing.
Yeah, the singer did come up by us once.
See, so maybe the keyboardist was walking around.
Maybe. I didn't see any guitars running around, but
Okay.
so all right, I beat that to death enough. I mean,
All right.
So
Well, I'm going back to our fan favorite,
what?
McDonald's. I was at a town for work, driving around a couple hours away. Stopped at McDonald's to get my iced tea. That's what I just want a tea. So I go in. Young gal runs up behind the cashier right away. Hey,
Johnny on the spot?
Yeah, I was like, oh, good. So I always go in when I look. I make sure, do they have, tea crafts out and all this stuff because I want to get a tea. If they don't, I'll bypass. I won't stop. But they got that. They got the fountain drinks, everything there. Boom, beautiful. So can I help you? It's like, yeah, just want a large drink. Okay. What do you want to drink? I said, just a large drink. And she stood there. She's like, but what kind of drink? And she's got to I'm like, does it matter? Can I just get a large cup? Well, we fill it back here and we'll give it to you. I was like, well, I mean, you got, and I pointed, I said, you got the drinks right over there. I just want a large cup so I can get me a drink. We have to fill them back here. It's like, okay.
Do these not work?
I said, I'd like an iced tea. Okay. She rang. I said, but wait a minute. I said, no. I don't want just unsweet. Oh, I'll make it a sweet. I said, no. Listen, I'm not trying to be difficult. I know it seems like it. I'm not.
But I have a very specific way.
I do about 3/4 of unsweet and then just a quarter of sweet. I just want to taste. So
and how much ice?
About half.
About half, yeah. So I'm about a third ice. So
I'm like, well, the tea I do that because a lot of times it's a little warmer because they've just brewed it or something. And she's like, we have to fill it back here. I'm like, I can't just get a glass. I said, well, you got them out there. You can get your refill. I'm like, okay. She goes, well, what if I'll give you your drink and there's a drain there. You can just dump it. I'm like, if you want to give me this tea and just waste the product, I said, whatever. She kept saying, I'm so sorry. I said, listen, if that's your policy,
I was gonna say,
that's your policy.
It probably goes above her.
I said, I'm not mad or whatever. Whatever you got to do to put a large cup in my hand.
Yeah, I'm not blaming you.
I don't care. And she finally went and got a manager, and they came over, and she's like, they want this. It's like, okay, well, we'll just ring it up as a special and just tell them for a cup. And they're like, what's the special? Just a cup. They bring it. That took me like 5 minutes. I'm like, my head wanted to explode. She's like, what do you want in it? It's right there. I want to get just an empty cup and put ice and tea in it.
They tase Doug.
You know what? And that's what's going to happen. I'm just going to do a whole falling down situation like, Michael Douglas with not shooting, but just flip out because you are making me. This is insane. It shouldn't be this difficult. I want an empty cup so I can walk 10 feet to that iced tea carafe, which I see right here in the customer area, and put my own tea in it.
You think
we
this
have to
is
give you tea first, but then you can get your refill, or you can just dump it.
You think this is the beginnings of them taking over filling?
I have heard that they're getting rid of the
self-serve.
Self-serve.
I don't like it.
I don't either.
I want self-serve.
I want self-serve as well. So anyway, that drove me nuts. I kept my cool. I was nice. I don't get yelly or anything. I'm a little incredulous with it, and I know she could hear the bewilderment. Yes, coming out of my voice. She said, "I'm so sorry. I'm so." I said, "It's not. It's fine. It's not you. If that's your policy, whatever your policy is, we can't think for ourselves. I get it. We have to have a written policy. And you know what? God bless you. You're following your policy because sometimes they don't even do that.
No.
Whatever. Willy-nilly. Yeah, but she got the manager come over, swipe, override it, put special order, and just hand me a plastic cup. So
they want you to ring yourself up on the kiosk, but you can't go get your own drink.
Oh, no. Yeah.
We'll fill your drink. You ring yourself up, and we'll fill the drink
and
for you.
And you might be able to pay for yourself or not. You might have
it's
to
a gamble.
Take your receipt if it prints it and walk up and pay for it yourself, or go up and say, I paid, but I don't have any receipt. I have no proof that I paid. So,
speaking of tea, have you ever gotten iced tea at Culver's?
Yes.
You've got to overflow the ice, and it still never gets cold. It's like it just stays warm. How does it stay warm with a full cup of ice?
I don't know.
I don't know how it does it. It defies the laws of
gravity. It floats up in the air. Yeah. That's why you got to have a lid on it.
The laws of
you take the lid off. It's just everywhere.
It's it's hot still. How's it still hot?
The law of physics.
Yeah, it's melted the ice.
It does. It melts the ice and it's still the same temperature. I'm like, what? This is impossible.
Yeah, that is not physically possible.
This is some kind of new liquid they've developed that never cools.
Are we sure it's tea?
I don't know. Lori complains about it quite often. That she says, yeah, fill it up with ice. I fill it with completely to the rim with ice, so you get about this much tea.
Yeah, I don't like a lot of ice. That's one place I will, if I'm getting tea, I will fill the cup up because I know it'll be melted before I get to the table most times.
Yeah. You almost need a separate cup of ice. You do. That you just pour a little tea in, watch it melt.
I don't know why it is so warm, but it always is.
I don't get it. I don't understand.
All right. Anything else?
I don't think so. That was your gripe. Do you have more?
My gripe. Well, you added, so I was just...
I know.
No, that was it.
Okay.
That was all. It wasn't even that big a deal other than they just wouldn't give me... They like, no, you're going to take our drink. Now, you can dump it if you want. All right, whatever. Whatever has to happen to get me a cup. That's good.
The fountain sodas at the Circle K today had police tape over them. It's what's not working now with this? It's every time, half time I go in there and 3 of the little fountain dispensers say out of order or what. And it's always the side I like too. It's the other side's all the Pepsi products. I'm a Coke guy. And it's always that side that's messed up. Okay. Now see, you got me all worked up about soda.
No, this is riveting podcast material. Because I've got another tea gripe. That's right. Hot tea talk.
Better than iced tea talk.
Well, it's hot iced tea talk is what it is. Because I stopped at that same Circle K on our way here. I was going to get a drink. And there was an employee that was standing outside smoking. Little surly most of the time. I walked in. She goes, you stopping to get your snacks? I said, well, I'm just going to get a tea. You better hurry.
Well, at least she acknowledged you.
You better hurry because I'm about to pull it. I'm like, it's 6:45. It's what? I look, there's some in there. No, she's going to shut it down. She's shutting the tea down. I'm like, you can't. Would I have tea all night? What happened? Is it? I don't know if she has to clean it.
Can't make more.
Because I went there before.
Well, they're a 24-hour store.
I've went there before where there's a younger guy. He's got long, curly hair, kind of heavy set guy. There's always tea and he's pleasant. So, but I think they don't want to deal with it. Yeah. I think they shut certain things down. I don't want to deal with this. So.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about it. I'm sorry to drag this on, but we've talked about it. And Circle K in Morton has added this food prep area, and they've prep food and put it out in the middle section where you can get your, the hot dogs or the pizza slices or burritos or whatever. And those gals are always working on the food. They don't even acknowledge you anymore because they put in the self-serve kiosk. So you walk up, you ring yourself out, and unless you got cigarettes or lottery tickets or something, they don't even acknowledge you anymore.
I had one tell me I can't do anything for that during lunch. You can't ring me. Nope. I'm dedicated to this
the food thing,
which is all it is like a microwave that they warm it up and they put it over on the roller to keep it warm. But okay,
we can't talk to
again.
you.
Riveting podcast material for everyone involved.
I think I just got food poisoning just thinking of microwave gas station food.
I like how they have a brisket sandwich there too. It's like,
no!
Now, Buc-ee's, I will eat the Buc-ee's brisket.
Well, Buc-ee's,
but they
Buc-ee's
got a guy,
is a whole
they got a
nother
smoke
level.
pit, and they're bringing in fresh brisket, and the guy is tearing it up right there.
They got a barbecue master in there.
Yeah.
Too. I mean,
Buc-ee's. I wish we had a Buc-ee's.
That's a whole.
I couldn't even get into it.
See, we have the Buc-ee's Light up here. We have Wally's.
And not the same.
I like Wally's.
I've only been in there once.
It's not even close.
It's not a Buc-ee's.
No, it's not. Not bad.
It's like minor league Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
Like
well, then you get
leagues
down
down.
to this is like little league.
It's a great value Buc-ee's.
basically, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
All right, so somebody sent me a little video, and it was comparing
Little
introverts.
like this way or short?
little tiny. I had to use the magnifying glasses. Introverts and extroverts, and they had 5 scenarios, and I'm going to read them to us, and I want you to write down 1 through 10. 1 being the least anxious or the best scenario, and 10 being the worst case. So, like, if I read you one thing, you're like, this would really make me anxious. I would not want to deal with this. Or, nope, this isn't a big deal.
And are we going to have multiple of these?
There's 5.
5, okay.
And I also asked our wives, which I have right here, and I haven't seen. They're going to do the same ones, and we're going to write down what they would say as well, and then I'm going to read them off, and we're going to see how well we know our wives. So,
not at all.
Probably not. Probably not.
Chance to embarrass ourselves tonight.
Just ask her.
So here we go. Scenario number 1. You're waiting in line, probably at Walmart or
the gas
McDonald's. The gas station. The person in front of you turns around and they spark up a conversation.
Okay.
How uncomfortable does this make you? So if you're thinking it's just some random stranger. Now, it could be, I don't know what they're talking about. I've had this happen, and it's a crapshoot sometimes. So we're just going to say in general.
So 1 being the least uncomfortable and 10 being the most?
Yes. One is like your best, 10 is the worst.
You're not uncomfortable at all with 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And then make sure you put one
Can
down
we
for
reuse values?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So
Yeah. So make sure you put something down for your wife as well.
Oh, for my wife.
All right. Ready? Scenario number 2. Someone sits next to you in a movie theater before the theater starts. It's an open theater. There's plenty of seats. It's not like it's full. It's basically empty, or there's a lot of seats, and they come and they sit right next to you.
I think we've had probably 2 or 3 gripes
Right
on
next
this
to you.
specific topic before.
So, come
Because
up and sit by you.
people do this all the time. All the time.
So I'm not
People
saying
do
it's
this.
like full, and there's no, everybody. You're just all
No,
in
the
there.
theater's empty.
The
It's
theater's
you.
empty, or there's just a few, and somebody comes, and I mean they sit right next to you, like you're sharing armrests now.
All right. I'm probably going to be so off on
All right.
these.
Number 3, a neighbor invites you to a cookout.
A neighbor invites
A neighbor
you
invites
to
you
a
to a
cookout.
cookout. Let's say it's a neighbor you don't know. They're just a neighbor in the neighborhood. They said, "Hey, why don't you come over to the cookout?" So you don't know them. You don't know who they are. I'm not somebody that you see all the time and visit with. It's just a neighbor.
Okay.
4, you're getting gas, and the pump says you have to go inside and talk to the cashier. You ready?
I have other thoughts on that one, but go ahead.
That's right. And the last one, your food comes that you're at a restaurant. Sit down, order your food. It comes. It's all messed up. And you have to flag down the waitress and ask her to correct it.
So 1 is you're not uncomfortable with it, and 10 is you are uncomfortable with it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got to flag the waitress down. All right. I think I got it.
All right. Before I start, I was going to ask, so would you consider yourself an introvert, an extrovert? I know that that's hard to say I'm always introvert or always extrovert because it's usually a sliding scale. But in general, what would you say?
Well, I'm still introverted, but now I'm more like 65, 35, somewhere in there, 60-40. I used to be like 90-10 introvert.
Yeah, I'd say you've changed in that regard.
Yeah, Courtney, she's opened me up a little bit. So, but I'm still going to lean introvert because I still feel myself after a while being in too many social situations for too long or whatever. I just want to go sit in my house alone. So I still know at heart I'm an introvert.
Okay.
I would say I'm right at 50-50. I mean, I know.
Of course you would.
I am. That's me. Because it really
could go
depends
either
on
way,
it
really.
depends on the situation, really. And
I'm going to force
some
I'm going to say you have to say one way or another. What would you say?
All
Somebody
right,
says,
I
I'm going to
would
make you flip
say-
a coin. You got to say it. You got to call
I
it.
would say introvert.
Okay.
I'd edge over towards introvert.
Go ahead. You can finish what you're saying about your scenarios. And
Well,
stuff.
no, I'm just saying,
I
I'm
want to
just-
force you to make a decision.
Yeah. Like in large groups, I tend to go more introvert. But like one-on-one stuff, a lot of times I can be more extrovert.
Okay.
So, but I would probably lean towards introvert.
Okay. I'm an extrovert. So I would just.
Did our
sum that
wives
up.
guess what we were?
No, they didn't guess ours.
Well, just
Well, I will ask them
in
when this
general,
podcast
what do
is
they
over.
think? What do they think we are?
Well,
A jerk.
we might get. I think we might get a whole earful. You beep 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 beep. That's not suitable for podcast material. If we ask them what
we
they
can't
think
just,
we are.
It sounds like a rap song.
All right, so let's go through these scenarios now. Number 1, waiting in line, the person in front of you turns around and they spark up a conversation. So I don't know. I tell you what, I'll go first.
Yeah.
And then I'll say mine and what I think my wife says, and then I'll read them, and then we'll just go around. So I said for me, that's a 2. Not a big deal. I don't really care. I said my wife would make it a 6, and she actually put a 4.
She's uncomfortable with it.
No, so that would be the better. The less uncomfortable you are goes 1. The more uncomfortable you are goes to 10.
Right. So you said she was a 6.
I said, but she actually is more comfortable with it. She went 4.
She went 4. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
she went a little less. Mike, where you at on 1?
I'm at a 5 for
Okay.
the situation. 1, because in a lot of times in public stores or whatever, I don't want to be talking to people. I just want to get in and out. I know it's already most likely been a hassle to get to the checkout or wherever I am anyway.
Okay.
Mentally preparing myself to take out a loan to afford my groceries.
Yeah.
And I don't want somebody turning around and
Having Lori or having Courtney turned down for liquor.
Yeah. It's like, I just don't want to be in that. So it's like, just leave me alone.
Okay.
And I also said Courtney is going to be a 5 as well with me.
Okay. She said 6. So pretty close. Not
Not a
bad.
bad guess.
Not bad at all. Greg, where are you
Well,
at?
we're going to be so far off. I said 3 for me,
Okay.
and I said 1 for Lori. I don't think she's uncomfortable
Okay.
having somebody talk to her.
Well, you're wrong.
Oh, she is uncomfortable?
Well, she went 3, so not terrible.
Not
so
bad.
You're
So we're-
still,
so she would say we're similar then. She would say. Well, I don't know what she would say I was. I said 3, but so Lori was 3. Okay.
so we were all 1 or 2 off. is all. So
Yeah,
we're
that's
pretty
not
close.
bad.
Pretty
Bad,
close.
not bad.
So, number 2, someone sits next to you at the movie theater. Mike, I'll let you start this one off.
I almost put a 10 for this, but I went 9. And I hate this because people do this too much. And this is a PSA. Stop. If you do this, stop doing
Yes.
this. I put 9 for me. I'm going to go 9 for Courtney as well.
Courtney said 8. So, but still, you're close. You're right in there, man.
I said 10 because I hate it. I
almost
despise
went
it
with
when
you.
they sit If you got a wide open, don't sit right here. Now, it's not so much that I'm concerned they're going to talk to me, but it's just like, I want my elbow room. I want a place for my soda.
This is the same rule as the urinals in the restroom. You don't go right next to somebody.
Exactly.
Why would you do that?
Yeah.
I can't comprehend why people do this.
Yeah. Now, I put Lori as a 4.
She was 5.
Wow.
So, pretty close.
Not bad.
Yeah. Okay. I wanted to go 10, but I kind of did Mike's like, I don't know. I'm going to say 9, but it drives me nuts. It's people, no spatial awareness. They come in and they just plop down next to you. Look, why? Why are you sitting here? This is not a place to make friends or talk to people. This is a quiet theater. It's dark. I want to focus on the movie. And you're probably a blabbermouth to your girlfriend or boyfriend or friend or whoever's sitting there. What happened? Why?
Yeah.
Who's he? What did that happen?
Or
did they kill that person? Like, shut up!
Yeah. Or when they just like shovel popcorn. You know, it's like,
I'm gonna go back to the snack. You want a drink? I'm gonna get a drink. I want some nubs. I like those. How about Raisinets? Like, oh, yeah. So I went 9. I said that Misha was going to be an 8. Oh, she went 10. So
she went 10. She really doesn't like. You're still only 2 off.
Props to Misha.
I thought she might be a little better person than I am, but I'm glad to see that she's the same. All right, number 3, a neighbor who you don't know, just a neighbor, invites you to a cookout. So, Greg, give us yours and what you think Lori is.
I put Lori and I at the same on this one at 2.
Okay.
I actually went to a neighbor's block party 2 years ago where they just invited the neighborhood. I didn't know them. Lori wasn't here. I went by myself. I enjoyed it. I had a good time.
Well, you're wrong on Lori.
Okay.
But only by 1, too. Or she got a 3.
She got 3?
Yeah, she put 3. So right in there. That was good. All right. For me, I'm going to say I did a 3. I would be fine. I don't care. I can go talk to anybody. But see, with my job, I meet people I don't know all the time. Every day. Every day I have to go. I have to make small talk. I have to try to find something in common with this person while I'm working on there, wanting to talk or whatever. It doesn't bother me. Now, for my wife, I may really have. This may be the one that separates me. I put her as a 9, so we're going to see. She said a 3. She's
wow.
gonna kill me.
She's more comfortable than you thought.
I thought she wouldn't like going around people she doesn't know.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't tell them they don't know. I just said a neighbor, so maybe they didn't take that into consideration. Because I was thinking she would not like to go.
Yeah.
But I'm wrong.
I kind of have to force myself to do it if I don't know them. But typically once I do it, I enjoy it.
Wow. Man, we're going to have some counseling later. All right. Number 4.
Well, I say I'll do mine.
I'm
here real
sorry.
quick.
I thought I was the last one. Go ahead, Mike.
So the one that caught me on this is it's neighbors I don't know. Now, I have done this with other neighbors before, and they're great. That I enjoyed that, but with neighbors I don't know, got some doozies in my neighborhood. So this one, I put at a 6, and I said 6 too because we're all right on top of each other.
Yeah, you guys are all pretty close.
So I don't know. I'm not feeling great going into it anyway, and I said Courtney's going to be a 7 on this one.
8.
All right.
So yeah.
So she doesn't
I'm
like it.
the only one
huh?
that blew it completely out of the water. I did terrible.
So Courtney doesn't like it, huh?
Not a fan.
No.
All right.
Like I said,
She's around so many people.
I know, but like I said, we've got some doozies.
And it might be that forced socialization. That's what I was thinking for my wife that she wouldn't like. Not that she doesn't enjoy cookouts and stuff. I was thinking just going to the neighbor, but I was wrong. All right. You're getting gas, and the pump says you have to go inside and talk to the cashier. This for me is a 10. This is my 10.
Really?
I hate it. It has nothing to do with necessarily the cashier. It's just the aggravation of things not working. So that probably swayed me. I'm like, God, don't. Because now I got to go in and I'm doing that whole thing. Which pump is it? 7. And I look 3 times and I say 7. Is it 7? And then I got to go wait in line and I stand there and they're usually cooking something and like that register's closed. I'm like, I just need a receipt. And it's just a big whole mess. This went from I'm going to be in and out of the gas station and no time flat to, oh my gosh, I'm going to kill myself. My head is going to explode.
There's a line there too that you got to stand behind just to wait for your receipt.
Now, I said my wife would, this is a 3 for her because I don't think it's that big of a deal. I don't know that she deals with this that much though, because I usually get all the gas.
Right, me too.
She thinks a gas ferry. So when she pulls the car in on Friday and it's completely empty, and then Monday when she goes to work, it's like, oh, the gas ferry came and filled up the gas tank,
like, and it's clean too. What happened?
What? It just happens. Just life just runs, and she's just oblivious. So. She said a 7. All right. I was wrong. I was wrong.
Like it.
So, all right.
I'll go next. For me, this one is more just a minor annoyance as opposed to the interaction. So I just put a 1 for me because I could care less about talking to the cashier. Now, it's like what you said. It will be annoying on the way, but when I get there, it's whatever. And for my wife, for Courtney, I said 3 because I don't really think she would care too much either.
This is your worst one. So
bummer.
This is a 6 for her.
All right.
Wow.
See, I probably swayed it more of just the aggravation than the 10 didn't. I probably should have thought of it more of just having to deal with the cashier. Oh, well. I'll leave it at a 10. But I don't know that that's...
Well, the other thing is
because
they factor into it, but just, for me, it's... Yeah, whatever.
So I took partially what you're saying because the fact that I've got to go in and get my receipt, now I'm already mad. So that's going to minimize how much I want to talk to the cashier because now I'm mad.
I am too. And it's a stupid anger. It's nothing to be angry about. It's a in the whole scheme of the day, if that's the worst thing to happen, it would be great. It's just, but it's one of those irrational angers that just infuriate me. Sorry, go ahead.
But my gripe about it is that is the purpose of pay at the pump. Yes. And when it doesn't spit out a receipt and we, for work, have to have our receipts.
Yes.
It's like, now I got to, and like I said, there'll usually be a line in there. And it's like, so now I'm mad. It isn't a matter that I mind talking to the person, but now I'm mad, so I don't want to talk to him. So
some guy trying to get his
5.
cigarettes
so
and they don't have them, and he's got to, do you have Marlboro 100s in the box? No, just a soft pack. Well, I don't want that. What about the one? Like, come on, does it matter?
And I want 3 quick picks. And
my favorite's the lady who's scratching off 18 scratch-offs. It's like,
and I need to check these. Did they win?
Yeah.
So I went a 5.
Okay. So
because normally I would be like Mike and say 1 or 2 because I don't mind talking to the cashier, but I'm mad at this point, so I don't want to talk to him. I usually just go up and say, I need a receipt for pump 5, and then she hands it to me, and I
say it in an angry voice. I need a receipt. That's pump 5 didn't print a receipt.
Yeah. Could somebody fix that?
Very passive aggressive.
Now Lori, I gave a 3.
She said 4. So yeah, you're right in there, man.
Hey, we haven't been married for 40 years for nothing.
I've been married 32. I blew it. I had the one big one I blew.
This is why we've been married 40 years. So we could do this test, and I could somewhat get the answers.
Good. All right. The last one.
Oh, that wasn't the last one?
Nope.
No.
Oh.
Somebody messed up.
I messed up. I gave myself a 3, so I wasn't as mad as I thought I was. And I gave Lori a 2. So you said Lori said
4.
4. So I was off by 2.
Yeah.
And I gave myself a 3.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
I just missed my column.
Now the last one.
Spoilers for Greg's next answers.
So the last one is you go to a restaurant, you sit down, you order your food. It comes to the table. They drop it off. It's completely messed up. You got to flag down the waitress, tell her it's all screwed up, and you need her to redo it.
See, for me, I put this one as a 1 again because if I'm paying for a dinner, I want to get what I paid for. And I have no problem saying, this is not what I ordered. I wouldn't even have to flag her down. I just tell her right there. She drops it off. However, On the opposite end of the spectrum, I'm going with a 10 for Courtney. She hates this.
It's a big call.
Even the minor things, like at restaurants, if somebody forgot a side of ranch or whatever for her, she will not speak up. She will absolutely say nothing. This is, to me, one of the biggest things that she avoids any social conflict on is restaurant mistakes.
Well, this is your worst one.
Oh, are you kidding me?
No, hang on.
What?
You're 3 off. She said a 7, so it's still on the upper end.
She's still, pretty
but
high.
not quite a 10.
So she doesn't like it. Just maybe not to the extreme that you thought.
All right,
Greg.
All right. This is the one I gave myself the 5 on from last round.
Okay.
Honestly, thinking about it, I probably should have gone up one more to 6 or 7 because I am non-confrontational, so I don't like to confront people.
but
I know. I know what you're saying. You get what you pay. You're paying for it, and I will. I'll do it. I'll
Mike
do it
is
nicely.
playing the role of Lori right now.
I mean, I will do it nicely.
Ask him again.
But-
Why don't you get more angry about this?
I know, but I gave myself a 5.
Okay.
And I gave Lori a 3.
She said a 2. So
2. Okay, not too
you're
bad.
right there.
I think I read her pretty well.
Okay. For me, I said a 4.
For you, yeah.
For me on this one, I didn't give myself a 1 anywhere. I don't.
I didn't either.
I'd like to, but on this one, I don't. It's not that, and I will say something. It's not that I don't. My thing is, I usually feel bad for the waitress because they usually, unless she's the one that screwed it up, you know what I mean. But I feel because it's like, she's just working, trying to get paid. What is it? But maybe it's so many years of being disappointed at all the fast food places. I just assume my meal is going to be wrong, so it's not a big deal. I don't know. So I said a 4, and I said,
No, at McDonald's, you throw the burger at them.
I do. I have a tantrum. I order a shake and throw that at them.
Well, they have to give it to you first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got to fill
The
it.
shake machine's always broke, so I
Yeah.
never dip my shake. But if I did, I would throw it at them. No. I said my wife would be a 5, and she said an 8. So I was way off. Way off. She said an 8. So out of us all, I think Greg won this one, and Mike came in second. I came in last.
Ooh. You need
That's all right.
counseling.
That's what makes our relationship spicy. Okay. Well, that was the last I have on that.
I like it.
quiz.
That was good.
Mike is going to talk
Yeah.
about eating nettles.
Okay, so I'd seen a headline here. So if you're unfamiliar with stinging nettle, basically it's a plant.
Which I am unfamiliar with.
It's a plant that you could find in the woods. It grows like in ditches
It's a weed,
even.
right?
It's a weed.
Okay.
So it's kind of like poison ivy. You could brush up against it, not even really know what it is. You could walk right into it and kind of be, if you're not looking at it, be kind of ignorant to what it is.
You wouldn't say I got hit by nettles?
Well, you would actually. So a few seconds later, you brush up against it. Doesn't take long. It's got like these little tiny, it's like almost hairs on it. But what it does is when you brush up against it, they pop off the leaf and they stick on you. And then once they're stuck on there, they kind of do that like burn, stinging nettle. I
Give
mean,
you a rash?
Yeah. It's not like poison ivy where it'll linger for, but it's going to hurt. When that stuff touches you and it gets on, and this is firsthand experience. I one time, I didn't have much on me. I didn't even know what you're really supposed to do, but I just had taken my water from my pack and, washed it on me. Oh, it still hurt. It hurt real bad.
It's crazy nettles.
So anyway, that's kind of the setup to this. So I had seen a headline that there was world competition of like eating stinging nettle. And I was like, wait a second. Why are people eating this? And 2, why is there a competition for it? It's just self-punishment is what I think this is. So anyway, there was the 2024 World Nettle Eating Championships. More than 30 people from as far as the U.S. and Netherlands took part in the contest at the Dorset Nectar Cider Farm near Bridgeport, and I believe this is in the U.K.
It is.
London.
So people came from the U.S. to eat nettles.
Yeah. So 30 people competed. The winner on the men's category, his name was Tom Wheeler. He was from London. He ate 116 feet worth of nettle stalks to claim the men's trophy. 116 feet worth
That's
of
a
stalks.
lot of nettles.
Yeah. And the winner of last year's men's trophy had only got 64 feet. So this guy almost
he doubled
Yeah, the winner from last year. Nuts. And then the defending women's champion, Beth Hodges, she actually retained her title. She ate 64 feet of nettles, and she beat her own record of 60 feet.
She
set
probably
in like
practices at
2023.
home, like go out in the woods.
Oh, I hope not. But you'd almost have to, right?
You would think, toughen up your tongue, whatever, you know.
So
I think this is going to be a Summer Olympics sport this year.
So what?
Good luck with that.
What happens is, and
On the nettle team.
yeah, I like that their breakdown of the competition. So they interviewed the woman's winner, Beth Hodges.
And she said, "Oh, I had."
Basically, she says she's happy to have won again, though her hands were still painful. My voice is also an octave or two deeper, and I'm a bit huskier.
Huskier?
It really did sting the inside of my mouth, and your tongue goes a really funny color, but I was concentrating more on the pain in my hands, so I forgot about my mouth.
Oh, good. It's kind of like I hit myself in the head so that I wouldn't think about my hand hurting. It's like, what?
Yeah.
It's like,
I guess.
Yeah, so she gave a little hint here into the nettle competition. The dryness is the tricky thing, and chewing them. And I had read something earlier that basically to help with the dryness and the mouth pain, they give them like cider, like a cider.
As much cider as they want. That's the only thing that you can have, though.
Yep. And I think they can drink it, dunk it, however they want. They can use that cider to kind of help.
I use the
get it
same
down.
tactic for vegetables.
Just broccoli.
Yeah. Cider.
I ate 16 centimeters of broccoli, and
Yeah.
I can't do it anymore.
I got to the stalk.
Doug crushed his previous record of 14. Why? You know, and it's like one of those things that, okay, if I signed up for this, which I wouldn't do, but if I signed up and I look around and like, this is the world championship and there's like 30 people here, is this a good idea? No.
One
no, it
that's
is
looking
not.
too. I couldn't find anywhere that they won anything outside of a trophy. I looked online. I looked up. Did you see?
I did not see.
I couldn't
the
find
winnings.
like a monetary gift. So, Mike, how much would it take for you to enter this contest and win? They're like, you're only getting this if you win. So if you're up against 160, you got to keep eating until this guy gives up. How much money? How much money are we talking?
What, that he would win?
No. He has to enter the contest.
So he's got to pay the fee, the entrance fee.
No, he's going to win the money. Like,
he'll
how much
win.
money? How much money would it take to get you to do this?
Okay.
contest?
This guy just doubled what the previous winner
Yes.
got. So
So you got to go against him,
I got to go 120 feet worth of nettle leaves.
and he's been
basically.
doing this probably for years. You're coming in with nothing. How much
He's
money?
like the
is
Joey
going?
Chestnut of nettles.
You know what?
Basically, yeah.
Don't say anything yet. Write a number down, Greg. I'll write my number down.
You know what? This is going to be crazy.
Okay. Write that number down. All right, Mike. What do you got?
Look, if I'm torturing myself like this, and this is going to be, I might pass out. I don't know. I put $5 million. I want bank.
Wow.
I want bank for this. Look,
I'm cheap. Then
I
go
am
ahead.
too.
and I'm just going to say real quick. Okay.
I mean, I didn't put $5.
So when I walked through nettle, I hit the nettle with my leg, and that burned like horribly. And like an idiot, I brushed it off with my arm. I doubled down on it. That hurt so bad. I never want to see this stuff again. So
Okay.
if I'm eating the stuff, I'm going to make it worth it.
Do you want to go? Or you
Go
want-
ahead.
I put $100K.
I put $50,000. I went short. I went cheap.
To me, that's a lot of money. I mean,
It
that's,
was mine too, but apparently not. I should have held out.
yeah.
Here's another thing. How are your BMs when you're done with this? What's going on with that? I didn't think about that before I wrote my number down. Now I'm worried.
Doctor, what's wrong? You've got anal nettles.
I don't think anybody wants anal nettles.
You know what?
Yikes.
This whole thing, I had not thought about that yet.
I hadn't thought about that until just now, and now I'm like, I think I made a big mistake for $50,000.
Yeah.
I think it's going to hurt worse coming out that side than it is going in. I'm not going to lie.
But that's the number. That's the number I put.
Maybe
I'm
they'll
stick-
soften inside your stomach.
Maybe? Ooh.
There's not enough Pepto in the world,
No.
or any sort of anything. To
Well,
help
here's
with
the
that.
thing too. If you were a woman and you entered this contest and you're going up against this woman, did you see the picture of her and she's holding up the V for victory sign? She has nettle leaves tattooed on her hand.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
You know you're in
She's
trouble.
serious
You're in
about
trouble. You walk up and the person's got nettle leaves tattooed on their hand.
She probably orders it at a restaurant. You got any nettles back there?
And her tongue is almost black.
It's
disgusting.
Wow.
That's horrible. All right, Mike, you said you had some. Were you done?
So yeah.
Okay, you got some other competitions.
So that sparked an idea for me. It's like, you know what? How else are people? What else are we competing?
Defacing
Yes.
themselves.
Yes. What are we doing here? So I've got some other weird ones just to mention real quick. The World Worm Charming Championships.
World
The
Worm
what?
Charming.
The World Worm Charming Championships.
You play a little oboe and they dance around, or
This is a PG show now.
Yes.
World
The
Worm
Worm
Charming.
Yes. You can guess where this is, maybe England. So they coax worms out of the ground using a rod.
I want to get my wife a shirt that says World Worm Charming Championship Champion. I don't think she'll wear it.
that might get worse.
I don't. So they have the little plot of land people do this with, and they create vibrations in the dirt with a rod, and it.
Well, I've
Pops
heard
up
of people
worms.
when they're getting ready to go fishing and they will go out in a field and they'll tap wood on the ground and worms will come out. But
I've also heard of them like putting metal rods in the ground and then like hooking up a low voltage battery to
the
it.
worm's like, woo!
Well, it does kind of like gives a little, not like a 9 volt, the bigger, not 9 volt, but whatever that bigger one is.
Yeah.
You know, and they'll hook it up and just kind of
volt?
give some
No, I
vibrations
don't.
and it gets the worms up. So, no better way to get the worms up than with a little vibration. So,
I guess not.
you're going fishing. Sorry, Mike, go ahead.
Are they charmed?
Maybe.
Well, how about the World Gurning Championships?
World what?
Gurning?
Gurning?
I'm
Yes.
not sure what that one is.
So,
Hold
you'll-
it. How much would you do world gurney? I'm just kidding. I don't even know what
25K.
it is.
You got to
If I don't know
ride
what
a
it is,
gurney?
I'm
You got to
going
ride a
big.
gurney?
If I don't know what it is, I'm going big number.
Well, you'll never guess where this one happens either.
England.
England. So we're going to
We
England.
got a theme going.
Basically, what you do for
They're
this,
bonkers over there.
you put your head through a horse collar and you show the crowd your most disgusting or funny face, and the best face wins.
And that's it.
Here's an example of gurning. So yeah, you put
Okay.
head through a horse collar and you make a weird face.
Now, see, this is more of, I don't like these where they're judged because it's
Subjective.
it is subjective.
Yeah.
There's no, because you could say, well, my face was much
Yeah.
weirder than hers.
I mean, 160 feet of nettle,
Oh, yeah.
how far that is.
yeah, you're going to know.
but gurning, it's like, well, that was a pretty stupid face. I mean, you got a Simon Cowell judge out there that's
Yeah. Well, how about this one? We're going to Australia this time, so we're leaving England for a little bit.
oh,
How about the tuna toss world championships?
wee.
World tuna tosser.
Tuna tossing.
I'm gonna take a can of tuna.
Tuna are big. So is it the whole tuna?
Yeah. Oh, it's the fish. Well, not the hundreds and hundreds of pounds of tuna.
Oh.
It's
Smaller ones?
yeah. The picture that they show is
That's
kind
still
of
a good
it's
size
still a good
tuna.
size. Yeah. You kind of almost you gotta like
Swing that
slingshot.
tuna around.
Yeah.
Wing it.
So that's
Sling that tuna.
this one's been going on since 1980. The tuna tossing.
Was that in England?
Australia.
Oh.
Yeah, it's down under.
Yep. So I like this one too. The International Cherry Pit Spitting Championship.
Yeah. I do that sometimes.
Spit a cherry pit the furthest, and you win.
Now, see, I like that one.
Yeah.
Because there's definite rules and there's a definite winner.
And there's a distance, yeah.
Yeah.
And if there's a tie, we're going to do it again.
I've heard it done with watermelon
I have
seeds as
too.
well.
I have as well.
All right. How about this one's kind of like with the tuna one, but this is in Finland. The Mobile Phone Throwing Championship. So you throw your phone.
I'd like to do that about 3 times a week.
All right. This
I would
one,
like to throw other people's phones.
This one I thought was a little intense. We're going back to England.
Of course.
The town of Ottery in St. Mary, England. This is the Tar Barrels Festival. So basically what they do is, this is a 17th...
I don't like this one already.
Oh no, it's not fun. The 17th century tradition of carrying barrels soaked in tar and set on fire while racing through town. So basically this one is actually only for people who have lived in Ottery, St. Mary for most of their lives. So basically this one is like generations of families competing against each other, so there's really not a lot of outside competitors.
Like
Oh,
a lot of
darn.
people want to be there.
But you carry a tar barrel on fire through the streets as fast as you can, basically.
Well,
with that
you
one.
want to go fast.
Well, I would imagine. Yeah, you don't want to be the slowest.
Well, if you, depending how big the barrel is, that tar is going to stick to your
Well, that
shirt
barrel
and
looked
stuff.
like it was a big.
It was
like
big.
whiskey
So that fire is
barrel.
going to come around it, and you're cooked.
Yeah, it
I'm
was.
assuming that the tar is coated inside. They light the inside of the
Yeah, it
barrel
was the
on
inside.
fire, but it's going to burn through.
This one might get in the $1 million range.
yeah, there's
Well,
potential.
there's a chance I could be horribly disfigured and burned. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's potential for things to go very wrong.
Yes.
How about this one? Northern Canada, the hair freezing competition.
I've heard of this one.
I've kind of done that one. Remember that? We were at the Wilderness Resort in Wisconsin,
yeah.
and we went to the outdoor pool. You could swim under the wall and go to the outdoor pool, and you come up, and you're in, negative 20-degree weather, and your hair just goes,
Yeah. And it is frozen solid.
yeah.
All right, the last one I had, this one was... Okay, this is in Russia, so I'm going to give it that context, and when you know that... When you know that, it makes sense. This is called the Bubble Baba Challenge.
Bubble
Challenge
what?
competition. Bubble Baba.
Bubble.
This
Bubble
is
Baba.
Bubble
this
Baba.
is it happens in the rapids of the Vosky River in Russia, where contestants in the race they race in the water using sex dolls as flotation devices.
Oh my gosh!
Sheesh. And I bet
Of
there's no
course it's
vodka
Russia.
involved.
Yeah.
It's got to be Russia.
Yes.
I mean,
Like I
why
said,
not?
it makes sense. It started in 2003, and the height of it in 2011, there was about 800 people who participated.
Sheesh, that's a lot of people.
Now, did some guy get caught out there in the river with this sex doll by his wife? And what are you doing?
I'm racing.
practicing for the race. What race? Haven't you heard the Bubba Baba? The Bubba Baba race.
It was really cold out. That's all you could say. Ba ba ba.
So, well, you got to get a sex doll and float on it down the river.
Yeah.
Okay.
And again,
At least I'm not a worm charmer. Whatever it was.
yeah, I don't know. There's some weird stuff out there, and I don't know why people do about half of these.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. It is weird.
Well, Mike, when you brought this up, I actually found another article and put out there, and I think Greg wrote down a few. I
got
wrote
a
down a few
couple
too.
of-
Let's see. It'd be interesting to see if we have the same ones down. So, I'll let
The
you go
ones
ahead.
the ones that just caught my eye.
Yeah, go ahead.
So my first one was the haggis toss.
Okay.
What was that, with a sheep's stomach?
Well, that's what haggis is.
And you toss it.
Yep. It has to be made too. I mean, it has to be cooked. They take the organs, they put in the sheep's stomach, and then I think they boil it, and then you have to toss it. I would toss if I ate haggis. I'd be tossing for
I'd
sure.
be tossing, but not.
So I did have haggis hurling on there. You want me to
Do
go
your
back
next.
and forth?
Do yours, yeah.
Okay, I had rolling in the grits.
I did not do that one.
It's from St. George, South Carolina, and basically they fill up a giant inflatable pool full of grits. I hate grits anyway.
You'd think that'd be in Alabama or something.
Well, this town is self-proclaimed as the world champion of eating grits. They eat more grits than any other
Where's it
per
at?
capita.
Where's it at?
St. George, South Carolina.
Oh,
So
okay.
per capita,
So it is
they say
south.
they eat more grits than anywhere in the world. That's what they say. The competition basically is every person that wants to join it, they come and they stand on this little stool and they dive into this pool. They're weighed before. They dive into the pool. They're weighed after. And they're see how much grits you can get to stick to your body. Now,
They're probably eating it while
I
they're
got a
doing
bone of
it.
contention. I got a bone of contention for you here. Because they say how much sticks to your body. But then they also talk about people get creative. They wear baggy sweatpants and tape the legs shut, and they shove it down their pants. They wear sweatshirts. It's like, to me, you need to at most wear a bathing suit.
Yes.
And you go in, and now
And
let's see how much. What was that?
No tucking. No tucking rice
never.
and no
Never.
tucking grits into your bathing
No
suit.
tucking at all. We don't want any of that.
It's got to stick to you.
It's got to stick to, and it's got to be, or in in your natural pockets. If you got that, you're a big guy, you got some natural
folds.
pockets. If you can stick your hands in your pockets when you're completely naked, you're that kind of folds. Then you're going to have an advantage. But I feel at most you have to wear a bathing suit. You can't be getting huge baggy sweatshirts and sweatpants and just filling your pants full of grits. I got a pants full of grits.
I filled my pants.
Filled them up. So that was what I had. That was one I had. Go ahead, Greg. I'll let you go back.
I had the what was it? The roadkill cook-off.
I had the roadkill cook-off as well.
I don't know if you want to describe it. I didn't write down much about it. I just thought
so that one's from West Virginia,
Virginia.
of course. And basically, they have a cook-off, and you have to use. Says it has to be made. The dishes have to be made with animals often found by the side of the road. So they said. Now, technically,
Not
you don't have to get the ones off the road, but they have to be ones found on the road. So
squirrel.
You see things like squirrel, snapping turtle, possum. Some of these sound kind of good, actually. Fried venison wontons, like I would probably eat that. Snapping turtle soup or stew, I would probably try that.
Is there armadillo?
No, but I don't know in West Virginia if they have.
Out there probably not. Man, you drive through like Texas and stuff.
But they have possum, raccoon. They have squirrel gravy over biscuits.
How about a little snake?
There is snake. They said it's nothing to see snake. Turkey, rabbit, crow, squirrel. They even said bear.
Wow.
That's a bad roadkill.
That's a big your car's in bad shape.
That is not going to be well, but teriyaki marinated bear. I would probably try it. If I would probably try most of these if they were there, as long as they were clean. Now I've went to some game roasts and had raccoon and stuff, and it tastes about like what you think. It's kind of gamey and not great. So roadkill cook-off. Go ahead. Did you have another one or?
My last one was in tribute to Mike, the pancake race.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, that one is in England. So we were going to come back to England, and actually they said it started like 1445, and it has to do with Lent. So it was right before Lent starts, and so you're not supposed to eat like sugar. You give up sugar and stuff like that. Well, they would have all this stuff coming up that week leading it, so they would just cook it. Especially back then, there was not a lot of storage, so they just cooked up all of these like cakes and pancakes and stuff. Well, the story goes there was a woman who was getting ready to go to church, and when you go, you have their service, and then Lent starts, and you have to give it all up. Well, she was still cooking, so she grabbed her pan and ran with it to the church with the pancakes still in it, and she was trying to eat it, and that was how this one started. I also had one in memory of Mike, not memory of Mike, but in honor of Mike. I went with the mashed potato wrestling. He had the gravy wrestling.
Oh, yeah, he did.
You have gravy wrestling. They have mashed potato wrestling. Now, it says here the object is to see how many times you can pin your opponent in 3 minutes. They fill up a giant. They basically make a big pool with like bales of hay, and then they put a tarp around those and it holds it down, and they fill it up with mashed potatoes. I don't want to get in there and grapple around with some other dude.
No.
Rolling around in the mashed potatoes. But that's what they do. They also said there's other different wrestlings they have. They have Jello wrestling, spaghetti wrestling. I don't.
Yeah, no.
I don't want to be wrestling around and. Yeah.
I pretty much don't want to be wrestling around in anything.
No, I feel like if you're doing this, do you need... Now, they're doing instant. I think that you should go old school potatoes. Now, do you do smooth? Do you do them lumpy? Do you peel them? Or do you go, no, we're going to leave the peeling on it and just grind them up? How are you thinking? I think you got to go as smooth as possible if you're going to be wrestling in it. You don't want half a spud to the eye. That's not
you don't want any
good.
spuds in the eye. Yeah, probably smooth. Yeah.
Can you imagine being a potato farmer? Oh man, we've got a great crop this year. You turn around, It's like, wait a minute, my potatoes are going where?
I got 100 bushels going to England for was it England this time?
No, that one.
No, this is South Dakota.
Yeah,
Oh.
South Dakota.
Oh,
So
right next to Idaho, the potatoes could come. You know.
Well, I love in here
you'd
too.
be living in your own private Idaho.
Yeah. Yes, you would.
In the article too, there's a guy who won so many potato wrestling championships. Steve O'Groton Barone. I imagine when he comes out to wrestle in the potato, he's got the whole WWE intro.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. You know, Steve O'Groton.
That's
Probably
right.
got his son Spud with him.
Yeah. Like, you don't want to catch Steve O'Groton in the ring.
No,
No, you do not. No, you do not.
He'll give you the gravy if you know what I mean.
Nope. I got one more, and this one's in honor of my wife and your wife because they love these things. They have a small foods party. So basically, I forgot.
Was that the shrimp? The little.
They
Yeah.
had little shrimp.
Yeah.
I didn't. Where was this at? I
Courtney-
just lost where this is.
Well,
at.
Doug is finding Courtney is obsessed with all things small or miniature,
So is my wife.
and she's that's so cute. Like,
Or oversized. If it's something that's oversized, she likes that too.
see, I don't think Courtney's into the oversized. I think it's just mini, but she loves it. Like we have at home a little tiny mini jar of Jif. Because it's just a little tiny. It's maybe no bigger than like
A thimble?
something like that.
Yeah.
Little tiny jar of Jif, and it had Jif in it.
Mini. It did?
Yeah,
Oh, this is in Maryland. I finally found
Did you
it.
make
at
a
the very
tiny
end.
peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
we never even opened it.
So basically what this is, it came, some artist created this as a way to raise money for some museum, and then it's just cut on it every year.
Was
they
it a
do
tiny museum?
Maybe.
Yeah.
It
You
says,
stepped on the museum.
yeah, they do, they shrink everything. They have wontons, crab cakes, banana splits, and they're all teeny tiny. They make, and I believe they have to make the food so it's all edible, but you have to make it teeny tiny, and they have different things. They've done pizza, mini corn. They even had something called a crappy meal. They had burger, fries, and even lidded drinks. They made tiny little bitty drinks with lids and straws that were real. They put a little bit, like a eyedropper worth of soda in it with little bitty tiny ice cubes.
Pretty soon that'll be what restaurants move to anyway.
I think
Yeah.
that's going to be the new McDonald's $5 meal.
Yeah.
It says yes, it is. The most innovative contestants take home the Bright Idea Award, while the chef with the best reproduction of a full meal claims the Blue Plate Special. Fingertip-sized cupcakes and tiny sub sandwiches are among the past winners of the Golden Toothpick, which praises the most impressive proportional difference between full-sized original and mini recreations. So, yeah, it looks. I mean, it's interesting how they make it, and they make it look like it really is the thing. They have these little bitty tiny cups and things. So
I have a tiny plate of nettles.
Yes. Maybe then I could enter.
maybe I could too.
Maybe it'll be like a little
Yeah.
heat or something, you know.
So I tell you what, we're going to call an audible because we are over an hour. So we are
Okay.
going to push the UFO stuff off till
Ooh.
next week's teaser. But next week you can tune in and we're going to talk about UFOs. There was a study done by Harvard. They have 4 hypotheses. There's also some talk in there about fairies, elves, and nymphs, crypto-terrestrials. We have hairy gray aliens. I'm sure there'll be some probing talk. We don't know.
Maybe,
I have no idea.
we could have a guest alien on the show.
Maybe we could. Maybe we could. So we're going to push that off till next week. You guys have anything else you want to say to wrap it up?
Nope.
Nope. All right. Well, hey, thanks everybody for tuning in to the show. We appreciate it. Relax. Take a deep breath. Don't let yourself get so aggravated out there. It's going to be okay. Don't get offended. Laugh a little bit. It's all right. It's going to be okay. We'll get you through these troubling times. We'll all laugh together as society crumbles.
Yes.
Hey, we appreciate you tuning in to the show. We hope you're tuning in 7 days. And until then, see ya.
Later.
Peace.
Well, that wraps up another episode. Thanks for listening. Please be sure to subscribe. And you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.